Hello, hello, and welcome to live. Tell someone to tell someone to tell that I am live. You all are welcome to my live. You're welcome to my live. You're welcome to Contemporary Views. If you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Gillian. All right, let us give it a few minutes so that you all can join in. Where is everyone? Let's talk about SA Miss. Thank you for joining in. You're welcome to my live. If you're seeing my face for the first time, my name is Gillian, all right? Do well to hit the subscribe button so you'd get a notification when next I am live. I have a couple of things to say about Chidinma. Chidinma Adeshina Vanessa, all right? The Miss that has been rejected by two nations in Africa. There is a controversy about her, so I'd like for us to discuss it today. I want to apologize for not being online yesterday. That's because I couldn't make it, all right? So I am here today. Let us talk about Chidinma. Hello and welcome to Contemporary Views. If you're joining in for the first time, do well to like the video, subscribe. If you haven't done so yet, that is because whenever I am live, you will get notifications to watch more of my contents. Thank you all so much for joining in. You're welcome to Contemporary Views. On Contemporary Views, we discuss trending issues. We discuss contemporary issues. Everything that is happening, I make it my duty to bring it on to this platform so that we can talk about it. Now, we are a bit different from other platforms because when we talk about every trending issue that happens, we carry home lessons because I believe that you must not be the victim for you to learn any lessons. Thank you for joining in. You're welcome. We're discussing Chidinma. If you're joining in for the first time, do well to subscribe so you get notifications when next I am live. Thank you for joining. Let us talk about the beauty queen that has been rejected by two nations. I must tell you that she has been rejected last week, and this week she's been rejected again. Hi Rashport, thank you for joining in. If you're joining in for the first time, do well to subscribe so that you would see my videos when next I upload. Hello Raj, thank you for joining in. Okay, if you're joining in for the first time, click the subscribe button. Now let's begin. For whoever is going to come later, they would have to watch the video again from the beginning. Today we are discussing an African queen, an African miss who has been rejected by two nations. All right. Before every video, I always like to give you a foundation of the subject. Whoever we're talking about, whatever story that is on, I'd like to give you the foundation so that you get to understand why that particular person or subject is on the news today. Okay, so we are discussing Chidinma today. Chidinma Adeshina Vanessa is a young girl. She's just 23 years old, and she was participating, yes, in the Miss South Africa beauty pageant. When she reached top 11, most people in her country, South Africa, began to question her nationality. Now, that was the bone of contention at the time, but that's not why I am talking about her today. But I need to tell you all this so that I can give you a foundation. Now, it is said that Chidinma was born to a Nigerian father and to a South African mother. They both met in the UK in 2010. That is when they met and started a relationship. And then they moved down to South Africa, which is the home of the lady. I mean, the mother of Chidinma, all right? So they stayed in South Africa and gave birth to Chidinma in South Africa. So it is said that she was born in South Africa. Now, folks, I can't really tell you for sure. I don't know what the South African nationality rules are, but I understand that in some countries, once you are born in that country, you automatically gain the citizenship of that country, even if your parents are not citizens of that place. So based on this rule that operates in many countries, it is only fair for Chidinma to have a South African nationality because she was actually born there. I am not so sure about that, but it looks like she has only lived in South Africa before and nowhere else as we speak, okay? But that's an information I am not very sure of. Based on the arguments and based on Sandile, thank you for joining my live. If you're joining in for the first time, do well to subscribe. One of the parents should be at least be a South African. Thank you so much for that clarification, Sandile. From your name, I want to believe that you are South African, okay? That's someone trying to let us know how it should be, okay? I am so grateful for that clarification, Sandile. Rex Vandal, thank you for joining in. Thank you all so much for joining in. If you're joining in for the first time, do well to subscribe, all right? Click the subscribe button so that you would get notifications when next I'm live. Thank you so much, Sandile. You're welcome, Rex. You're welcome. VRF, hi to you. Okay, so based on what we were saying about her nationality, if one of her parents is a South African, she can be a South African or she is a South African. Now that makes her, or that creates a legal ground for her to participate in the Miss South Africa beauty pageant. All right, folks. So now, the long and short of the story is when Chidinma started her competition, she didn't have any problem. But when it was top 11 now, there was a call for concern because some South Africans felt that she isn't a Nigerian. She isn't a South African, but a Nigerian because all her names are suggestive of the fact that she is a Nigerian. So now a case was opened against Chidinma, yes, in Home Affairs, and she was investigated. Now, allegedly, it was said after the investigations that Chidinma's mother, who is supposedly a South African, and who, because one of her parents is supposed to be a South African, she can have South African nationality, was accused of having stolen her nationality and that she was Mozambican and not South African. Now that made it a little bit worrisome. It was a little bit difficult and pressure started mounting on social media against Chidinma. Chidinma Vanessa could not bear that, people. I can imagine, first of all, to come out as an individual wanting to contest in a prestigious competition like that one is challenging. Okay, Sandile. The problem that South Africans had was her loyalty because she had Nigerian and Mozambican flag on her social media accounts and the video of her celebrating with Nigerians. Oh, really? Guys, did you hear that? That is why I always want for us to come a little bit late to talk about any issue, because you would get the facts. I hate passing down wrong informations. Actually, what I have on my notes is quite different from what Sandile is saying. Let me read it again to you guys. The problem is that the problem South Africans had was her loyalty, because she had Nigerian and Mozambican flag on her social media account, and the video of her celebrating with Nigerians. Oh my God. If that's the reason, then they have a valid point there. They have a valid point. But now the question I still have is, when her mom was being investigated, X-Man, do well to subscribe. Thank you for joining my live. I can't solve your problem. Sorry, but you're welcome to join. You're welcome to listen, all right? Thank you. Okay, when Chidinma's mother was being investigated, okay, it wasn't proven, or it hasn't been proven yet, because before coming up for to do this video, I went to check on Home Affairs. Home Affairs are yet to bring out information about her mom, whether she's actually South African or not. But it is being rumored that her mother is Mozambican. Okay. Okay. Now, the thing is, Sandile says it is due to her loyalty, that she placed her loyalty on she celebrated with Nigerians, and then she posted the flags of Mozambique, and she had Nigerian and okay, she used Nigerian and Mozambique flags on her pages, and then she was seen celebrating with Nigerian. Well, in the end, I would give my own thoughts about that. So let me just continue with the video just like I planned it. But if you have any comments out there, I really would be grateful to listen or to get to know. Okay, so that is that for the foundation. Chidinma is this very young girl. She's so beautiful, I must say, from a woman's perspective. She is really pretty. Yeah, she was born in South Africa and has lived most of her life in South Africa. One of her parents, Nigerian, the other, her dad is Nigerian, and her mom, supposed South African, but then they are questioning her mom's nationality, and that is where everything started. Now, when the internet became heated with arguments against her, she was being dragged, she was being bullied, and she could not take it. I want to tell you that I have gone to watch her videos. I went to her platform. I saw her utterances. She is very vocal. She is very pretty. I think she is also very intelligent, because she really, really speaks well. Okay, she has knowledge of the subjects that she talks about. She doesn't just talk because she wants to talk. She's really something to write home about. She's someone Africa is supposed to be proud of. Okay, now that is from the South African perspective. Okay, judging now from the Nigerian perspective, the Nigerians did not see that as nice. They were not happy about it. They have termed it xenophobia. I must tell you that Nigerians and South Africans, they have a history, okay? They have always been at loggerhead when it comes to settlement in their country. It is no news that the South Africans argue that the Nigerians are not good and they spoil everywhere they go. That is, when they come to their country, they are guilty of all the crimes. It is not something of today. This has been happening for so long. Okay. I don't want to say that I have full knowledge of how that used to happen, but I have seen how the population, the locals of South Africa, they rise up against the Nigerians or other African nationalities in their country. They drag them out, they loot their properties, they chase them away for reasons best known to them. They claim that they come to spoil their country, they don't obey the laws, they don't do what they are expected, they evade taxes, they are involved in the use of hard, because of community standards, I don't know what I'm going to say here, but hard substances, yes. They are involved with the use and proliferation of hard substances in their community, and they are also involved in sex works around South Africa. That is, they are tarnishing the image of uh, uh, South Africa. Okay, Sandile says not all Nigerians, but some are bad and some are good. Exactly, exactly. You are very right, Sandile. I was just trying to give like a general view of what the problems between Nigeria and South Africa has always been before this one. Okay, because they have really not been friendly. So I have explained already how the South Africans saw it, and now I am trying to explain the Nigerian own version of everything that has been transpiring before now. Now I want to crave your indulgences, okay? The Nigerians claim that when South Africa was struggling with their apartheid regime, the Nigerians helped them in many ways that I am not going to mention here because I can't say I have a rich knowledge of the history of both countries. But they said that Africa, including Nigeria, was helpful to them when they needed the help at the time. And they don't see how, now that they are doing so well, or now that they are okay, they don't want to accept other Africans, especially the Black African people. Okay, usually I do my videos with wigs, yes, but today, because I am actually celebrating my African heritage, I am representing the entire Africa here today. I look exactly like how an African should look, with my natural hair, not wearing my wigs today, so that this should serve like some form of reminder to who a proper African should look like. Or this is our identity that we have been fighting and denying and struggling with. Just a quick disclaimer, ladies. I am not saying that wearing of wigs is not good, it's not appreciated. Do what works for you. Usually, all my videos I wear wigs, but today, because of this particular video that is stemming from our very own existence, I decided to come like an African to talk about this issue. Now, the long and short of it is the Nigerians, after this incident, were so vocal on social media. They didn't like it. I have already explained the history of the problem between Nigeria and South Africa. And now the Nigerian what do they call them? Silverbird is organizing Miss Nigeria World. There's that competition actually going on. So they extended a call to Chidinma, telling her that she should come join their own competition. She's allowed to compete with them. She will be received. If she wants to compete, she'll be highly received over there to compete, so that they can, since she has been rejected, they can have her to their side. Now, I must say that it's a very beautiful thing. When someone is being rejected somewhere and then another person is like wanting to receive them and have them home, it is a beautiful gesture for the Nigerians calling or beckoning on Chidinma so that she can have a place. Since the South Africans say she is Nigerian, the Nigerians have now asked her to join their competition. Of course, Chidinma Vanessa was so happy. She couldn't hide it. So she came out to make a video accepting the call. So she said she would be she would be participating in Miss Nigeria pageant, and this did not also sit well with some Nigerians. Yes, when this pageant started, Chidinma was a South African and not a Nigerian. She did not begin in this Nigerian competition. So why would she now want to come and join at this stage? So some Nigerians are saying online. But then the South Africans begin to wish her well. Yes, they were telling her, oh, go well, go and represent us very well. Congratulations to you because you're looking so beautiful. They posted her picture side by side with the other contestants of Nigerians, and they began to laugh at them. They said that the Nigerians were not as beautiful as Chidinma, that all the contestants have masculine a facial structure, that they were not looking as beautiful as Chidinma, and that is a fact that Chidinma would win because she physically is beautiful, more beautiful than all the other Nigerian contestants, and that she is also very intelligent. I think that she has a good mastery of her knowledge of her course. Yeah, they say she's studying, I don't know, I don't remember, I think law or something. Yes, she's a law student in Pretoria. Yes, Pretoria University, and she has a good mastery of her course and world affairs. So if she's been quizzed for anything, she would actually have something to say. So now that's that for the side of the Nigerians. So now I want to speak on this issue now as an African. All right? The internet has buzzed. They have been buzzing, talking. Everybody has been talking, and I have just been sitting back watching and then laughing. Sandile, thank you so much. The university Chidinma is attending is Cape Town University. Thank you so much for that correction. And I am really happy to have you here because I think I have someone from South Africa who is giving us first-hand information and who is also not biased. So my friends from Nigeria, if you are here, I like to hear also from you without being biased. I am not Nigerian, I am not South African, I am African today, all right? So I am not judging. We are just having a conversation of something that is trendy right now. My own personal thoughts now. For me, Africa is one. All Africans, we are one people, okay? Remember that Africa was just one continent that people came to invade, yes, and when they did, they now used a pen and a paper to partition Africa, giving us boundaries and different names and different laws. Now, look at this from this angle. All the people that originally lived in Africa are dark-skinned. They are not fair-skinned. Quick disclaimer, I am not racist, I am not xenophobic, but I am trying to talk about my own ancestry as an African. We have an identity, which is our color. When you look at an African anywhere in the world, you would not doubt that this person is an African just by the way they look. If you see an Asian, for instance, you won't doubt it. You will not doubt. You will just know that this person is from Asia. So this is what I am saying about an African. When you look at an African, you know that this person is an African. We Africans are all one, no matter the country that you're coming from. Second thing, we can identify with the kind of food we have. It is difficult for an African, say you are Nigerian, and then you go to Ghana, and then you don't see the kind of food that you used to eat in your place. or you are Ghanaian and then you go to Ivory Coast, you know. What about North Africans? They are not dark. Exactly, they are not Africans. They are not dark. And if you are keen, they have always not wanted to join in everything African. Apart from football, that the North Africans join with Africa. What else do they join with Africans again? What else? Nothing. The North Africans see themselves as people from the Mediterranean. They see themselves as people from the Middle East. They see themselves as North Africans. It is no news. Everybody knows that. Okay? But I am talking about the Black African people. Would you tell me that the white people in South Africa and Malawi, all the Southern African countries there, and then those around Ethiopia, all those white people, are they Africans? No, they are not. They were settlers who came and remained. Okay? But I don't have a problem. Anybody can settle anywhere in the world. My issue is, can Africans not be able to accept their own ancestry? Can they not be able to accept their own people? Can they not be proud of their own genes, their own looks, their own descendants? Can they not be proud of their own history? That is my problem. What is wrong with a Nigerian who is also a South African to be in a competition that is happening in South Africa? Let me be honest with you. If one of Chidinma's parents is a South African, that makes her a South African. At least that is the law in South Africa. That is the law there. But we don't even want to accept our own. We don't even want to identify our own. Now, let me talk about this. Before coming on this live, I did a research for Africans or for South Africans who have parents who are Africans and who have parents who are not Africans. I mean, one of their parents are not African and the other South African. Now, let us talk about Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah he lives and works in the US, but he is highly celebrated by the South Africans. Now, South Africans, let me ask you, is he not a son whose mother is South African and whose father is from the Switzerland? Now, he is well accepted. Nobody questions his nationality, but everybody today tries to question the nationality of Chidinma because one of her parents rather comes from an African country. I don't know if you guys are understanding me, but I am paving a way to go somewhere. It is not the first time it is happening to a beauty queen. There is also Melissa Maifula. She also faced the same question. Her mom is Ugandan and her dad is South African. But she was not, her mom is South African, her dad Ugandan, and she also faced this same thing. So the question is there a criteria in South Africa for people to be accepted when one parent is not South African? Must the other parent not be a query, or must that parent be a query before they will be accepted? Now, okay, guys, give me a moment. All Africans should understand that South Africa is different. You can't say South Africa without including Afrikaners because they have been in South Africa for 300 years. Understood? Sandile, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Let me read that again. All Africans should understand that South Africa is different. You can't say South Africa without including Afrikaners because they have been in South Africa for 300 years. Now, that is not what I am talking about. And we fully understand that there are white-looking people or fair-looking people in Southern Africa, not only in South Africa. We have this kind of people, I think, in Malawi. We have a couple of them there. We have a couple of them in Mozambique. We have them as well in Angola. Yes, we have them there. A lot of those countries down in the southern part of Africa actually have nationals who are white skinned. Understood? Even in East Africa, in countries like Eritrea and Ethiopia, we still have some people like that. who look more like Asians, but they are nationals there. Understood? Now, my problem is, why can an African not accept another black African? That is the problem. Chidinma is in the news today just because they say she is Nigerian because of her name. They say she is Nigerian because of her name. If you have to judge it by her birthplace, which is South Africa, what would you say her nationality is? The laws of South Africa concerning nationality says that if you are born in South Africa with at least one South African parent, then you are a South African. But the problem is South Africa is not willing to accept those people who have other nationalities, I mean African nationalities. If it was a white plus South Africa, it is acceptable. But if it is not a white, another African nation plus South Africa, it is acceptable. That is where my problem is. At least that is what I have been seeing people saying, and I am beginning to accept that because I have brought two examples to you. There is Trevor Noah, who is a South African and a white. One of her parents, his parents South African, the other one a white, well accepted. Melissa, one of her parents South African, the other Ugandan, she's not been accepted. Chidinma, one of her parents South African, the other Nigerian, she's not accepted as well. Now, if I must be honest with you, okay, thank you so much. Sandile says, but her mother is Mozambican. I mentioned that from the beginning, that is the grounds South Africa is saying she cannot participate because her mother is a Mozambican. But when her mother's documents were being checked, it is seen that her mother is South African. Understood? And when I went to check on Home Affairs are saying that the matter is still under investigation. So, but now she has been denied the opportunity of participating in the just ended pageant. What if she was the one who was supposed to win? You guys have done her injustice. I mean, South Africans did injustice for Chidinma until it is proven that her mother is from Mozambique. The South African population is accusing her of stealing South African nationality, but that has not been proven yet. According to Home Affairs, it is still under investigation. And if she is found wanting, it is a matter that will go to court and the courts will decide. That has not been decided yet. But she has been dragged, she has been bullied, and she has been kicked out of the competition. I say she was kicked out because, forget the fact that you now say that she withdrew from the competition for her life, blah, blah, blah. That is what she said. But that is what any level-headed person who loves herself can do in the face of a crisis like that. She said that she received messages threatening her and stuff, threatening her family. So she had to come out and then put an end to everything before she gets hurt or something. All right, but if you must be logical here, the South Africans did not do her justice for dragging her at that time. Now, when the competition began, why did they not drag her at that time? Did her name change? Did she change her name? The very name, Chidinma, Adeshina, Vanessa, was the same name she used to enter. Why did they only discover when she was about to win? So for the fact that she began the competition and she won or she qualified at all stages makes it very, very difficult for someone to understand that it is just because of her name. It doesn't speak well for the South Africans. It doesn't speak well. Africa is supposed to be one. At least our color should be uniting us. Is it that there are no bad people from that nationality? There's also a narrative that you hardly see them in any other country. They would never go to other. It is true. Even in my country, I have never seen a South African in my country before. I have never seen them here. But it doesn't mean that if people love to stay in your place, you won't give them the opportunity to do so, especially if they cannot they cannot, how am I going to put this? If they are not responsible for the predicament they are finding themselves. Now, Chidinma was only born in South Africa. Even if her mother stole that nationality, should she face the consequences of her mother's actions? Is she guilty for the crimes her mother committed? She was born there. I waited to see a video where someone will say, since her mother and her father met in the UK, she was born in the UK and brought to South Africa, but I didn't see that part. I was waiting for someone to say that she was born in Nigeria and then she was brought to South Africa. I didn't see that part. I was waiting for someone to say she was born in Mozambique since her mother is Mozambican, allegedly, but I never got to see that part. So it means that she was born in South Africa, and by the laws of nationality around South Africa, it stipulates that when you are born in South Africa, if you have one parent who is South African, you are South African. So based on that, the South African did not do her justice. They did not. It was not fair. It is still not fair, because when the Nigerians called her over, the South Africans now started wishing her well. It doesn't make sense. The second thing I want to discuss on this video about this same case, it doesn't suffice for someone to be rejected openly by a nation and then another nation calls her over and then she accepts that call. To me personally, it doesn't sit well. It looks fishy. You say you are South African, whose one parent is Nigerian. It is highly possible that she has never lived in Nigeria. It is also very possible that she doesn't know the cultures around that area where her father is from, because she was born in South Africa and has always lived there. And then suddenly, the South Africans reject you because of your name. And the Nigerians call upon you and you want to go and answer that call. Sandile has spoken here before. Let me go back to the comment and read it again to you. Sandile said that the problem that South Africans had was her loyalty, because she had Nigerian and Mozambican flag on her social media account and the video of her celebrating with Nigerians. Now, that comment is very, very accurate when it comes to the fact that Chidinma accepted the call from Nigeria to participate in their own pageant. She's not loyal at all. On contemporary views, guys, we speak facts, okay? Let's not mix emotions inside. Yes, she was bullied, she was dragged, she's feeling bad. The Nigerians are trying to make her feel better. They're trying to make her feel good. But that move, to me, that move doesn't sit well with me, okay? The same week they are dragging you, the same week, another person is calling you and offering you an opportunity. You are accepting that opportunity without even thinking about it. I understand that when these beauty pageants run, there's a time where you need to say something in your mother tongue. You need to do maybe a cultural dance. You need to do something that depicts your origin. Does she have what it takes to do? Does she? So if, based on the fact that she was being chased for her loyalty, Sandile says her name did not change. You guys claimed her, then we got angry. Sandile, for starters, I am not Nigerian, all right? I am not Nigerian. I am not. If you know a Nigerian, or if you see them talk very well, you would see that I am not Nigerian. From my accent, you should know that I am not Nigerian. And I am not biased here. I am just open and free. I want us to reason without emotions, just with facts. So I would read what you said again, but in the correct way it should come. Her name did not change. Nigerians claimed her, and then we got angry. That's one thing. Sandile, did you know, or do you know that because Nelson Mandela became very, very popular in the 90s, 80s and 90s, so many children born that time in Africa were named after Nelson Mandela? Do you know that? I know of someone in my country who is called Mandela. We don't have that kind of name here. We don't. But he was named after the great Nelson Mandela. So a name should not be used to identify someone. A name is not supposed to be used to give someone their due nationality. If she was born in South Africa and her country and the law of South Africa says that one of her parents must be a South African, then she is a South African. Of course, she is a South African. She is. Normally, you don't expect the Nigerians to deny her because her father is Nigerian. Her father is. So if they are accepting her in Nigeria, it's because her father, it is true, it is not a lie. She's not frauding that. You guys say her mom stole the South African nationality. But Nigerians don't want to know. They're just claiming her because you rejected her. Now, not all Nigerians are accepting her, especially for the sake that she's coming because of the pageant. Some Nigerians don't want it. Now, let me tell you, you just brought that up in my mind. I also watched a video where a Nigerian tried to explain that it is even more confusing for Chidinma as a Nigerian because they don't know where she belongs in Nigeria. On that video, the lady was saying that Nigeria has three major ethnic groups. That is the Yorubas, the Hausas, and the Igbos. Three major groups, like three major clans. And Chidinma, the name Chidinma belongs to the Igbo clan. The name Adeshina belongs to the Yoruba clan. It also means that her father, who is a Nigerian, somehow needs to give some clarification because he is coming from two different clans. Yes. So even if they accept Chidinma as a Nigerian, where does she fall? To the Yorubas or to the Igbo? Well, that one is just a digression. That one is also one of the not so nice things that the Nigerians were saying about her. Another not so nice thing the Nigerians were saying about Chidinma is those girls who are participating in the Miss Nigeria pageant going on right now have worked so hard to reach this stage. And for her to come into the competition at this level doesn't do justice for all those who have been participating from the beginning. Okay, those are also some not nice things they're saying about her. I mean, some Nigerians saying that. So now the bone of contention is, I think that until Home Affairs would have declared her mother's nationality, South Africa shouldn't have bullied her. And because she was bullied and kicked out from the competition, Nigerians called her. For me, even if the Nigerians called her, she should have not say no or yes, but she should have just stayed her cool. For the fact that she was quick to accept the Nigerian call while claiming she is South African disqualifies her from participating in both nations, because even she herself is not being honest. There's no way you are going to tell me that I am South African and I am being disqualified like right now, or I am being dragged like right now. Stuff is happening right now on the internet. And then another nationality calls me over and I accept, even if I have that nationality. Even if I have that nationality. But the one that I am still fighting for, I would stay and then finish whatever investigation, whatever thing going on there. Then I am sure that I am no longer that nationality before now I move to another nationality. Listen, in my country, we don't have dual nationality. We don't. It is either you are a national or not. South Africa has dual nationality, or maybe multiple nationality for one person. Nigeria has dual nationality, or maybe multiple nationality for one person. But in my country, we have just one nationality. If you are born from two parents, you will choose one. And if you choose one, it is either you become a national or you become a foreigner. Most cases, if your both parents are not nationals, you are considered a foreigner. It takes the grace of God for you to apply, even if you were born here, for you to apply that one of your parents is a foreigner and then they give you nationality here. That is it. So our laws in nationality are very different from that of other African countries. But if it is acceptable in South Africa that you can have two nationalities, then South Africa did not do justice for her. At least they should have waited for Home Affairs to declare that Chidinma's mother is Mozambican and not South African. We cannot continue hurting our own. We cannot continue hurting ourselves. Now, after the whole show, Chidinma has accepted to participate in Nigeria. I want to talk about that now. For me, with all the facts that I have listened to on this case, it is not fair. It is not. When a beauty pageant begins, I don't know how they classify it, but it begins from the roots. And people start qualifying and coming up. Maybe it begins with, say, 500, maybe 200 contestants. And now that it is top 25 or top whatsoever, and then she wants to join the competition at this stage, it is not fair. It is not. So Silverbird calling on Chidinma to join the competition at this stage, I think that you're being biased to the other contestants who are purely Nigerians, who have been participating from the grassroots. If she must participate in a Miss Nigerian beauty pageant, maybe she should wait for the next edition and then come and contest. Not that she comes to contest in this same one that is going on now. They are not doing justice to all the other contestants who have already been in the competition before now. I think so. They are not doing them justice at all. So now my forgive me guys. Someone just texted me to say that that Chidinma is not okay. That she needs an assessment. That she's not okay. That was she expecting for her to be sent out of the competition? Actually, she was not expecting to be sent out from the competition, but I don't expect her also to feel so bad. I don't expect her to break down because she was not accepted in a competition that she started. Okay. Um, Guys, I need you to like the video, right? I've been talking here all alone just with Sandile. I need you guys to like the video, pump in some hearts. If you're joining in for the first time, my name is Jillian and you're welcome to Contemporary Views. On Contemporary Views, we discuss contemporary issues, yes. We discuss everyday happenings, yes. We discuss trending issues, yes. But we are different because we take home lessons, okay? We take lessons home. So I need you guys to join in, okay? I need you to join in. Okay, so I think that I have exhausted most of what I saw online on this issue. But as usual, we need to take home some lessons. We need to learn something from this issue that is so trendy, this issue that is everywhere. And the first lesson that I want for us to take home today is acceptance. You and me and Africans should start accepting ourselves for who we are. We accept our heritage, we accept our origin, we accept our ancestry, we accept who we are. We are not going to change. We are the melanin generation, the melanin race in this generation, so we can't deny that. It begins with acceptance. We are the most backward country in the world, continent in the world. The backward most, in fact, we are referred to as the black continent. The black continent where nothing is making use. Imagine someone being called black just because of how backward you are. You know, if they want to make you feel better, they tell you that you are a developing country. Well, what do they mean by developing country? Are we that backward? Folks, are we that backward? So please, any form of development, any form of progress begins with you accepting who you are, with you accepting yourself as a person. Okay, someone says that oh, Sandile, this question is this comment is coming from Facebook. So the person is like asking, so in all the dragging that South Africa dragged Chidinma in all her chasing that they chased her away, it was finally a white woman that became Miss South Africa. Now in the world, they will be announcing, welcome on stage, Miss South Africa, and a white woman pops up. Sendile, how do you feel about that? What are your thoughts? That Miss South Africa is a white and the potential winner could be a black who was chased away, and now Miss South Africa is a white, and all of them they're okay. So say something about that, Sandile. Okay. So now back to my thoughts. We should accept ourselves. Yes, accept who we are. Exactly. Yes, it begins from there. If you don't know where you're coming from, obviously you won't know where you're going to. So Africans, you need to begin to accept who you are. If you can't accept your originality, if you can't accept your ancestry, then you're making a big mistake. You must accept who you are for you to make progress. Now, the second thing I will be talking about here You see the boundaries we have in Africa, it is not doing us justice. I don't know if you understand what I mean. The boundaries we have in Africa, oh, this is South Africa, this is Mozambique, this is Nigeria, this is Ghana, this is Cameroon. Those boundaries are putting us in bondage, and we cannot grow. We cannot progress. We cannot prosper. Because if everyone saw Chidinma as a Black woman and as an African, I don't think it would be this bad on social media, where a nation, an entire nation, is being rejecting someone, not for their race, for their name. For their name. Earlier on, someone mentioned her loyalty. That is why South Africans rejected her, because she pledged or celebrated her victories with other nationalities. But if this is her birthright, can that be taken away from her? If it is indeed her birthright, should it be taken away from her because she's not loyal? All of you watching me right now, are you all loyal? Are you loyal? Maybe to your spouses, maybe to your children, maybe to your neighbor. Are you all loyal? I don't think that it was fair enough for her nationality to be stripped away just because, in quotes, they found her not being loyal to her country. This boils down to the boundaries that separates us, to the boundaries that has made us not to be able to see ourselves as one. Now we have some economic blocks in Africa. There is ECOWAS, there is CIMAC, and others that I don't know of. I don't know the ones that group South African and East African or North African countries. But I'll talk about the one that I know very well, and that is CIMAC. I am from a CIMAC country. And CIMAC has, say, 5 or 6 member states, yes, approximately. And 4 of them are French, 1 Spanish, and then 1 bilingual. Okay. The movement to these countries is not easy. Take it from me. Even when you have a CIMAC passport, you cannot just go to a CIMAC country anyhow. It's not possible. But do you see what the Europeans are doing? You have a Schengen visa. You can enter the 26 states. I think it should be more than 26 now, but when they started, they were only 26. If you have a Schengen visa, you can tour Europe. You can go anywhere. You can feel free anywhere. But that's not so in Africa. It's not so in Africa. Africa was created for Africans, but Africans don't even know Africa. I want to go to many countries in Africa, but the rules to get visas are strange. The rules are strange. Honestly, there's even one time I watched an interview. They interview Dangote, who is supposed to be the richest man in Africa. I guess he's Nigerian. He was saying that they asked him what are the challenges as a businessman, what are the challenges he's been facing around Africa. Since he's a businessman and he has businesses in multiple African countries, what is the challenge? He said that it was visa. That to have a visa to an African country is like winning an American lottery. Can you imagine that? He said visa, that there are days where he sleeps at the airport because he was told that to enter this country from Nigeria is you have a visa at the entry, and then when he gets there, maybe he cannot get the visa and then he has to sleep in the airport. Imagine Africa's richest man is being held with something as small as visas to enter African countries. I am yet to see an African country that has 90 visa-free countries to go into. But European countries come here visa-free, but we cannot go visa-free. These are some of the things we need to break free from. These boundaries that have been put in Africa makes Africans not to travel in Africa, not to know their continent, not to progress, and to see themselves as aliens. Really? If the South Africans saw Chidinma as one of their own, they wouldn't bully her like that. Come on. They wouldn't bully her like that. She was being bullied because they did not see her as their own. They saw her as a stranger. They saw her as someone else from far and wide. Oh, my beautiful African continent. My beautiful African continent. You live in Africa, you don't get to travel because you don't have visas. Because you don't have visas. No, it isn't making sense, okay? It is not. Now, that's the first thing we're taking home, acceptance. You accept yourself, and then we begin to destroy some of these boundaries that is separating us and making us become aliens, and I think we will be good. Now, second thing we are taking home today. Did you know that it is only the African race that sees themselves inferior and other races superior? You need to see a white man in a typical African community. You celebrate a stranger, but you don't want to see your kind. It is only Africa that does not like their kind. What do you call the white people? Caucasians, right? From Canada to America to UK to Europe, they see themselves as Caucasians. I have never heard two countries with white people fighting, or maybe someone being expelled from another country because they say he or she is not white. They don't fight among them. It is only for Africa that fights amongst its own, its kind. And Africa never believes that they can be better than anybody. They always feel that they are at the bottom. They always feel that they are last. Imagine that they say African continent is the richest in all resources in the world, all kinds of resources, beginning from population to gold, to diamonds, to this, to that, to bauxite, all the kind of minerals that exist in this world. But yet you are the most underdeveloped. You are the dark continent. Why is that so? Because we do not believe in ourselves. We do not believe in who we are. We are just trying to be what we are not. And let me burst your bubble. No matter how you try not to be African, you will stay African. There's nothing you can do about it. You're born African and you're going to leave this place African, whether you like it or not. So you better start fighting to get better. You better start fighting to be your own. Guys. Finally, the last thing I would be saying is, the last thing I want you to take home. Africa was created for Africans. Only Africans can make Africa better. Only Africans can make Africa work, because right now, Africa is not working. All the negative things you can ever imagine in this life is happening here in Africa. So it is only we, the Africans, that can make our continent work. Can I suggest some things? We should begin by removing the boundaries. Take away the boundaries. Let Africa be free. Our boundaries are putting us in bondage. In bondage. I want to see Uganda for free. I want to see Tanzania for free. I want to travel to Nigeria for free. I want to do all of that. I want to go to Ghana free of charge by just showing my passport that, yes, I am coming from this part of Africa and this is my name. Yes, am I going for free? Obviously, that is how Africa is supposed to be for us to progress. So now those were my thoughts, and then those were the things I think I should let you guys take home. So now let me conclude on Chidinma Adeshina Vanessa's issue. Okay. The first thing I would say is I think that the South Africans were wrong for dragging Chidinma because her case was not yet decided. Home Affairs still have to give information on whether actually her mother has stolen a South African nationality or not. And that will go a long way to prove if Chidinma is a South African or not. So South Africans were wrong for dragging her on social media and kicking her out of the pageant. Now, they have not done justice for her because she could have been the winner of 2024's pageant, but she was kicked out of the competition prematurely and some other person won. The second thing I would say is, even if the mother of Chidinma is Mozambican and she is guilty of having stolen the nationality of South Africa, all right, Chidinma is not supposed to suffer for the sins of her mom. I know that you will tell me that the Bible says the sins of the father shall be visited unto the children right up to the third and fourth generations. I believe that, and I know that is true, but it also says that if they don't repent, if they don't change. So if Chidinma was given the opportunity to choose her nationality, do you think she would choose to steal South Africa's nationality? No. So based on that, I think that SA government was not fair to kick her out, to take away her nationality, and to push her away from a competition that she was already participating in. For the fact that there were also participants like half Asian, half South African, half Indian, half South African. I think there's also a Filipino and a South African, a lady with a Filipino parent and a South African parent. So based on that, she wouldn't have been kicked out of the competition. She would have been left to complete the competition, and then maybe when her, even if she won, and then when her nationality was determined, if she won, the crown could be taken away from her because she is not South African, at least with proof. There was no proof. There is no proof. Even right now, I still went to Home Affairs page. There's no proof that Chidinma's mother is not South African. Okay. For my Nigerian people, I want to congratulate you for accepting her with all your heart. Hey, Omo Naija. They know they deny their own. Sure, they know they carry last. They accept their baby girl. You people accepted her. That is so loving of you. But you should have accepted her, but not bring her into your own competition, because that one, you are not doing justice to your own daughters who have been participating from the beginning. At this level, Chidinma does not need to join the competition. No, she doesn't. And now for the fact that Chidinma even accepted that call, now supports the fact that South Africa was saying that she's not loyal. How can your mom drive you today, say go away, and the neighbor opens the door, you enter? It means that you had long wanted to go to that neighbor's house. You didn't want to stay with your mom anymore. I don't know if I'm making sense there, but I think there is something like that. So based on that, now she now give the South Africans a reason to have kicked her out in the first place. So sometimes when things happen to you, please reason. You don't just take decision, especially public decisions in the open. Before you do something, reason, think about it very well. And then for the controversy about her dad, where he met her mom and whatever, please, maybe her family can come out to clear the air for all of that. And on Chidinma's case, my conclusion is she should do everything possible to know her true identity. She should clear the air, yeah, so people know who she really is. She should also take out time, maybe go to therapy for everything that she's gone through these 2 weeks. It's not been easy. Bullying on social media, it's not easy. She should learn to be slow to action, especially if it has to do with public, because it speaks a lot about you. Her loyalty was questioned by the South Africans, and she proved the South Africans right by accepting the call to attend Nigerian pageant. It was a wrong move. I don't know who advised her to do that. It was a wrong move. And finally, see, please, maybe ma talk one for normal African tongue. Nigerians here go understand me, Ghanaians go understand, Cameroonians go understand. I think the South Africans too go understand. African people now one people, okay? All Africans now one people will be. As you have melanin popping in your skin and you have the curly dark hair, I beg, we are now one. When I see other boundaries, but we cut those boundaries to away. We don't need them. Make boundaries come out so we will be okay. Africans, they create them for Africans, all right? My Liberian people, I guess when I don't understand. Africans, they create them for African people, okay? And only we African people go fit clean Africa, make a better place. Look the way now only African get natural environments. Everywhere na tar, everywhere na blocks. Now only Africa still very natural. Please, maybe we can just fix Africa for Africans and be Africans for Africans. All right. So now, guys, if you're joining in for the first time, my name is Jillian and you're welcome to Contemporary Views. If you're joining in just now, do well to subscribe and like the video. What did I do to you guys? You should share my videos. You come here all the time to watch me, but you don't share my videos? You don't want to subscribe? What did I do? Huh? What did I do to you guys? All right, that is it for today's live. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. All right, I will be live again tomorrow by the grace of God. So see you tomorrow and keep safe. My love to you on Facebook, YouTube. Thank you guys and see you tomorrow. Bye.